using I'm using the pop out picture in picture to
Okay.
like have the screen exactly in front of my camera, so it kind of looks like I'm looking at the camera as well.
Oh, I love that. I
So it's
wish I
like
could
easier to. It looks
see
like
that.
I'm actually talking to you face to face versus
How about here? Does it look like I'm looking at you?
it does.
That's a
Does it look
no.
like I'm looking at you?
Yes. Yeah. I feel like
It's
we're
kind
looking in the same area.
of it's like in the general area, you know?
Yeah.
It's great. No, I like it. I I was in the city the other day and I saw a guy with like silver locks or like dreads, locks, I'm not sure. And I thought like from a distance, I thought like, oh, that's so cool. In New York City, you see all kinds of stuff. So like
Yeah.
not really shocking per se. And then I get closer to this person. And sure enough, it's not normal hair. It's aluminum foil that was, like, designed to look like locks, and it's like a full, like it went down to, like, his shoulder blades.
Aluminum foil?
All aluminum foil and all, like, perfect. Like, from a distance, it looked like an actual hairstyle, just dyed silver, but no, it's aluminum foil,
It's
and he's
great. I mean, there's a trendsetter right there. I'm telling you, a couple of years from now, everybody's gonna be aluminum foiling their hair.
he's just, like, looking up and, like, tapping at the wall, something up there, and he's got, like, a little shopping cart next to him. I'm like, "Dude, only in New York."
Truly. I there are things I've seen on the streets of New York that I don't want to share on this podcast, but there are some
Oh, do
there's
tell.
there's I'll tell you off air, then you tell me if it's something I could tell on air. But it's just I do love Manhattan. Like I remember one day I saw I saw them filming Law and Order SVU,
Oh, yeah.
and
Classic.
then I turned the corner and there's a guy yelling at the wall. Like it's only in New York, baby.
I go down these because this was in the 42nd Times Square stop,
Okay.
walking through the hallway that goes to the Port Authority side,
Yeah.
and so I make it past this gentleman with the aluminum foil locks, and then there's a lady singing what was she singing? I think she was singing, like, Evanescence, but in a different, like, style,
Okay.
and I'm like, "I've never heard 'Bring Me to Life' this way." And it brought me life. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, "Okay, you get it." Like, there's some actual good singers that are just hidden inside of New York that people don't know about. It's just
Yeah.
talented people unhoused, just showing their talent.
I don't know if you can hear the ice cream truck outside. I apologize in advance if you can.
I don't, but now I want ice cream.
My ears, like, perked up, and I like, my gut instinct was to, like, run and get the ice cream, but I'm like, "No, I have a podcast to do."
I have serious business. Speaking of serious business to accomplish,
Exactly.
I
We
wanted
gotta
to
talk
ask
nerd
you.
stuff.
Yeah, that's it. That's what this show's about. Speaking about nerd and business, this will actually transition pretty well. What kind of Marvel character from the MCU, let's be specific, do you see yourself and me as? And I will do the same for you.
Interesting. Kind of Marvel character. I feel that's hard.
I'll give you
There's
s
so many. You
there's
go
a
first.
there's a lot of MCU characters. If there if there was an MCU character I'd see myself the most like, it'd be I would have to say I don't know if I wanna incorporate anything that's from the Fox universe, but I would say Nightcrawler. If we're not doing the Fox universe and just strictly Iron Man 2008 forward,
Okay.
then I would say Hawkeye, which is weird for me to say, but I think the protection of his close ones and his ability to keep up with people who are far beyond his capability
Mhm.
and still kind of hold it down resonates with me a little bit because I always feel like I'm the not to get too deep, but I feel like out of everyone in my group, I'm always the least. not capable, but like everyone's so skilled and talented, and I'm just trying to keep up. And that's crazy. But it's the inner saboteur of myself. Like that's how I see myself. That's my perspective.
Well, I don't want to tell you how to think about yourself, but that is completely wrong. You were absolutely no way. But go on.
In that same vein, the Avengers have never won without Hawkeye, and I think that also resonates with me. I feel like I'm a difference maker, but not the main character, you know?
I get that. Yeah, I get like I wouldn't call myself like a Captain America for sure, but I do think I'm like a sidekick esque. Okay,
Partner.
I just thought of somebody for me that is not a sidekick, but I do feel like I have the same energy. And for me, it's Andrew Garfield's Spider Man.
Hmm.
I feel like I have this sort of like whimsical look at what I do, like the sort of like excitement and joy and kind of like, like I try not to take things too seriously. I try to just sort of have fun with it. And I feel like of all of them, he was definitely the most like that. He was most just kind of like quippy and just kind of like, I'm a little goofy, you know?
What you're trying to say is you hide your trauma behind comedy?
I mean, who in the MCU does not have severe trauma? But there's literally nobody I could pick that doesn't. But I do feel like it didn't like like I don't know. I felt like he was the most down to earth of the three of them. I do think like Tom Holland does have that at times, but ever since like Tony Stark died, I think there was like he got a lot. It got a lot heavier for him. So I'd
Not
probably
to
go with the Andrew Garfield side.
I mean, not to knock on your selection, but technically Andrew Garfield Spider-Man isn't MCU. He's technically part of the Sony verse. One might make
Fair.
an argument that No Way Home cements that the Fox universe and the Sony universe puts it all within the MCU umbrella, but
Okay.
that's a debate for another day.
Okay, then you know what? Then I'll say Ant-Man. Not your first thought of an Avenger, sort of being fun, being silly with it, but also like eager to go above and beyond. I think I wouldn't be someone's first thought, but I would rise to the occasion when need be.
Like when they called him up for Civil War and he's like, "Oh, pff, yeah, I'm
Y-
there."
That's exactly me.
Yeah, yeah.
I get very starstruck too, just like him. Like
You're like, "Oh, Captain America."
yeah, if a celebrity, even someone I don't care for likes a post of mine or something, I make it my personality for the rest of the day. I'm like, "Oh my god, like this person." The official when back when I was on Twitter, I was followed by the official Power Rangers account,
Boy,
Senator Amy Klobuchar, don't know what
celebrities.
still don't know why that one. Um, oh my god, there was someone else that was really big. There was somebody on TV that was, like, really big, and it shocked me that they followed me. But anyway, I remember every time those happened, it was, like, the biggest thing. Oh, Mark Hamill liked one of my tweets once. That I mean, that broke me. I printed it out, and I had it up on the thing at work. That was just, like that just said, "Mark Hamill liked this." Like, it's all I needed. So I do get very, like, starstruck and very kinda, like, golden retriever energy.
With
Um,
like Ant-Man, he was also a felon that got locked up, right? And
listen, I have a dark past, okay?
I was gonna say you were locked up for liking ranch over blue cheese, so you were in the you versus who jail, and somehow you broke out.
I was in a police lineup once, that is true.
Oh, are we doing two truths and a lie?
That is one of the ones I usually use for Two Truths and a Lie, but no, I was in a police lineup once. I was one of the obviously not the criminal, I was just one of the extra guys, but it was really fun.
Obviously,
I
quote
got to stand
unquote.
next to the criminal, and I kinda the whole time, I kinda wanted to, like, go like this, like, tilt my head, and be like, "It's him, it's that guy," but I'm pretty sure they knew who it was.
They the criminal did it to you. They were like, "It's this
Yeah,
guy, Dan, right here to my right."
we're just tilting our heads back and forth.
I see you. If I were to give my selections, so if I see myself as Hawkeye, I see you more like Iron Man. You're like someone that's really good at like structuring things and figuring out a problem and try to solve it to bend your needs. and you also are, like, unapologetically yourself, which I like.
I appreciate that. That is, first
Not
off,
quite the leader like
high
Cap.
praise that I'm gonna hold on to for a long time. I think that's very good. Yeah, thank you. That's really, I love that.
I didn't give this any thought, by the way. I literally came up with it at the top of my head. I literally wrote Marvel before we hit live. I didn't even know what we're gonna do.
No, I love it. And honestly, for you, my mind is going to my mind is I might change my mind as I explain it, but my mind keeps going to vision. I feel like you have a very like you have a very like when you talk about things you like or you're trying to make a case, you have this way about it where you say it in such a way where you're very convincing. I guess what I'm trying to say. Like you I can tell it's very thought out, it's very thorough, and I do think you have this way about you too where you're like I think you give so much thought to this show and you I feel like you don't I feel like you're smarter than you.
Sound sometimes?
No,
Yes.
no, no.
Yes. No, this is true.
No, no, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I think Vision could kill a lot of the people in the Avengers, but he doesn't. He holds back in order to give other people space. I think you do that. I think you don't, like, dumb yourself down or anything like that, but you, like, give space to other folks like, be part of this, and this literally could be, like, your show, but you give me and all of the guests on the show, like, an equal amount of time to the point where it doesn't feel like it's your show, it is the show. You know what I mean? And I think that, like, makes it so fun. And I think, yeah, Envision easily could kill so many of the Avengers.
I love that. I've never thought of myself as Vision, but that's actually really good. That was really well thought out.
Thank you, I appreciate
I
that.
see with the jewel on Vision's head, he could easily shine, but he just lets the other Avengers shine.
Yeah, he you know what he does? Like, I mean, this not for you specifically, but for Vision, I feel like he, like, helps out just the right amount to the point where they win, but doesn't go crazy. You know what I mean?
I will say, just like Vision, who's pragmatic, I'm probably in that same vein. I'm very like I try to be as unbiased as possible in
Yeah,
any debate, any situation, like any circumstance. I'm really just trying to like look at it from the outside before I like try to put my own personal bias in.
yeah,
I mean, I'll give my opinion. Don't get me wrong. That's what the whole show is about.
yeah.
But I want to see it from the outside in first.
Sure, 100%. I think that makes perfect sense. These were some good ones. I think for something that just came up on the fly, I think we came up with some good answers.
I love it. I love it so much that we are ready to start the show. Are you ready?
I am so ready. Let's hit me.
Three, two, one. Pick a side now, ain't no neutral in chat. Your five versus mine, we gotta clash.
Who's this? Who's this?
I'm running out of time to look at the past. Speaking my truth, they told me put it in a podcast. Intros, outros, yo, show me how to laugh. Cause who versus you versus who versus you versus who. Welcome back to yet another brand new exciting episode of You versus Who. This is my favorite part. This is where we get to just have fun with the intro. Uh, this is a show hosted by me, moi, Sven.
And me, moi, Dan.
Perfect. This is a show where we talk about all things nerdy,
All things geeky.
and quite simply,
All things.
we're nailing this, Dan.
Mm-hmm. We
This
should
is
just end the show now. Like, we're on a high. It can't go up from here.
it's gonna be a roller coaster because I'm about to take it down a little bit. Watch. This is a show with hot takes on everyday debates. If you are new to the show or you have a obscene, terrible, I don't even know what adjective to use anymore, memory. If your memory is as shit as mine, vulgar, then I'll explain it to you. We have two buckets. The buckets of potential arguments. I'm also contemplating. We are recording almost episode 20 here soon. And I'm contemplating on something
Are you
there.
serious? What episode are we at now?
As of the recording of this episode, we have released 11. plus a bonus episode.
Oh my god.
This one will technically be like 17, 18 or 18, 19. And sometimes we release it out of order, so this is a little behind the scenes, but sometimes it's out of order, so it's like maybe this will be 18, maybe this will be 19. Who knows?
I apologize for like pulling back the curtain, but it actually blew my mind that you were like, "Oh, we're almost at 20 episodes." I was like, "Are you kidding?" Like, I feel like I barely said anything.
We still have a lot of opinions to give, but what I want to do is I'm thinking about fusing the buckets into just a quest bucket.
think that's I think that's a good idea because I do feel like we give the same level of strength in our arguments to both sides of the buckets.
Yeah.
I think that's a good the quest bucket, the bucket of truth. Just and I also don't love the idea of like one big ass bucket.
Same. So I
Yeah.
kind of want to build a bucket, call it the you versus who bucket, and it'll just be full of quests, side quests, main quests. Maybe we can guess what kind of quest it would have been,
Ooh, that's fun. I
but
like that a lot.
just all one quest.
Yeah.
I like it. Also, I think it would structurally work for the format in the sense that if we ever try to do a different segment, we never have to choose which bucket we're choosing before we do the other segment.
That's true. We just do as much of the bucket as we want.
Right.
I
And so,
love
yeah.
that.
But if you're new to the show, and so you're hearing production side right now, guys, and I'm excited to hear your opinions and feedback on that. So let me know if you think that's a good idea. But if you're new to the show and you don't even know what the buckets are the side quest bucket and the main quest bucket. The side quest bucket is where a lot of like the water cooler debates are, where it's like very simple chocolate and vanilla. Maybe it's like Coke versus Pepsi, and maybe you drink neither, but that's what it's like. Then you get the main quest bucket, and the main quest bucket has all the really hot takes and the debates that could potentially ruin our friendship. We haven't clearly ruined our friendship yet since we're still here today, but maybe today's the day.
We've come close, folks. Very close, but we have not. Yeah, we're still here.
Ranch and blue cheese almost tore this whole thing apart.
You know, that's the third co-host is Ranch and Blue Cheese. It comes up every single episode. It comes up in all the comments. It's just like it will not go away. It's the
It's a paid
nostalgia of
it,
the show.
it's a paid actor at this point.
Sorry, that got me.
Okay. I guess this side quest bucket is a little bit of an odd one. This one says so we're taking compound V, which are you
Okay.
familiar with what that is?
Right, from The Boys, which is I will say it's very fitting that we're doing it now because as of this recording, the finale was just like 2 days ago.
Yeah, and everyone's talking about it. I forgot I even put this in the bucket, to be honest with you. I haven't even finished the show. But if you take that compound, and so it says being a god versus exploding instantly. So there's a 50-50 chance. Would you take it?
Oh. I thought you were asking me, would I rather be a god or would I rather explode? I was like, be a god.
I'm reading the prompt too, and I second guessed myself. I was like, I obviously would choose a god.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense. Oh, that's tough because I feel like selfishly, I wouldn't take it. Which I think is the selfish choice is to say I like my life as it is. I wouldn't want to do anything. But if there's a 50% chance for me to be a god and like help fix the problems of the world, am I being selfish to not risk my life to fix humanity?
see, this is where my mind goes. I'm like, if I become a god, who's to say it's my responsibility to heal or save the world? I know I've read a lot of comic books like Spider-Man that says with great power comes great responsibility. But when has the world ever, with the world, by the way, world leaders, whoever, not to get super political, when have they ever considered it to be their responsibility to make sure my life was good? You know what I'm saying? And maybe some people have ran the world, some world leaders have good intentions, but practically speaking, there's nobody in a position of power that's really looking out for the small guy. And maybe that's what would inspire me if I became a god, if I didn't explode. That is, by the way, I'm risking dying to make this choice. Uh, maybe that would inspire me to be like, "Oh, let me look after the little guy since nobody else does." But I could also I mean, maybe I am the little guy, and maybe I'm just looking after myself with newfound abilities.
I will say, I think, like, I see your argument in terms of, like, why, world leaders don't care about us. Why would I use my powers to change things? I think the difference, though, is take like any world leader or anybody who rises to power, their goal, from what I've seen, has been to hold on to power. It's you know what I mean? Like that's the goal. If you are a god, you do not have that risk of losing power. You just have it. If it's saying if you snapped your fingers and world hunger went away, you know, like, that's an easy snap. I think it would be easier to fix the world in that sense. So that's where my mind goes. I think I think I would have to I don't think I'd want to take it. I love my life the way it is, but the idea of, like, world hunger, climate change, income, you know what I mean? Like the this idea of being able to fix all that with a 50% chance of my life, I think I'd have to take it. Even if it doesn't work out, like, I think I'd have to try.
I mean, if you don't try, I would definitely try. Because what do I have to lose? I mean, like, you're a father, you're a parent, like, you have a whole nother
Don't say that.
no,
You
no,
have
no, no.
just as much to lose as me.
I'm just saying I don't have anybody that's under my care
Okay. Oh,
that
I see. Okay, I see what you're saying.
right, like, obviously, people would probably miss me, I would hope. Uh,
Probably. Get out of
I
here.
probably. I mean, I'm saying probably, who knows? Like, I could be
With
I
you out of
could
the way, this is my show. No, okay.
and this is why you're a criminal like Ant-Man, 'cause you are a conniving thief. No, I'm just kidding, which that just reminds me of the game that we just downloaded, and I'm so excited to continue playing Thick as Thieves.
Me too. We could try it tonight. But go on.
The I just feel like I have less to lose, so to speak, and if and all everything to gain. If I got these abilities, I could help everyone that's close to me profoundly. I can make their life easier. I could do all these things. Do I have a moral obligation to do that for the rest of the world? That is a debate for a different day. No, actually, it's a debate for right now. Let's talk about it. Um, I don't think so. I don't think I owe the world anything. And so it would be up to me whether or not I choose to help. Obviously, I'm a nice person. And if it's a situation or a conflict that I think I can resolve,
Right.
then I'll probably be inclined to do so. But I don't think I'm obligated to, and I don't think I should have that expectation on my shoulders either. And so,
Yeah. That's a tough argument, sort of like the do you owe the world just because you can? Yeah, I get that.
so what I'm basically saying is, fuck. With great power comes great responsibility. That was a lie. And Uncle Ben does not know what he's talking about.
I'm glad he's
Spider
dead. No, I'm kidding.
Spider-Man has had it wrong this whole time.
I do think with great power comes great responsibility. I can totally see the point of, like, limits on it. You know what I mean? Like, I would, if there was like a war torn country, obviously help stop the war, but I'm not going to decide who rises to power there. I'm not going to decide what their government looks like or anything like that. There's levels, and I get that there's a lot of gray area when it comes to certain things, but I do feel like I would need to step in. I don't want to bring up any real world issues right now because I really do not want to be a bummer, but I do think there are like real world things where like it's sort of obvious, like, okay, this is wrong. Everybody knows it. Let's fix this. But then where we go from there is where I let somebody else kind of take over.
I want to go down two paths with this in terms of like the nerdy side, but on the real life side, real quick, I totally agree with like not bringing up one because that's the thing with like real life conflicts in our world right now. It's almost like if you put attention to one thing, it's almost negating or dismissing all the other ones. And there's just so many right now that it's hard to like put your attention like we as human beings don't have the capacity to be able to focus on everything that's going on, which is a bummer and it's unfair and that's just how life is. But I mean, if I could, I would. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. So like on the nerdy side, right? Kind of crazy that Spider-Man chooses to defend New York City with how crazy we know New York City is. Anybody doing Spider-Man's job would be having to work 24/7. I mean, thank God Marvel puts all of their superheroes based out of New York City because it needs it.
That's
People
true.
people online like to say like, "Damn, why are all the heroes in New York City?" Oh man, it's because all the writers and artists are from New York City. Yada 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 yada. But it's like also New York City needs it. I don't know. I've like lived and moved and been around different cities all around the country, not the world, but at least the United States. And I will say if there was any city in this country that needs it the most, it's probably New York. It's a crazy city. There's just there like Spider-Man could not do it on his own. There's just no way.
Well, I will also say the issues in real New York are very different from the issues in Marvel New York.
Well, of
Marvel New
course.
York is giant robots and portals to other dimensions and
Well, I
stuff.
was gonna say, you know what the difference is? It hasn't happened yet. That's the difference. Like we just haven't gotten to the giant robots and the portals to strange dimensions yet. We haven't gotten there, but we could and we might. Who knows?
We'll have to wait and see for sure.
The way science is going these days, who knows? They already got Michael Jackson robots that are falling like down the
Oh my god, that
stairs.
video is so fun.
It's hilarious. But the other route I wanted to go to in terms of the nerdy side is there is a storyline already about that with Superman, which is does he have the responsibility to have to resolve all the world's conflicts? And does he have the authority? A lot of times in those stories, it's like the world leaders are demonizing Superman because he's trying to resolve the conflict as a whole. It's almost as if he's seen as the martyr, not the martyr, but the like the champion of one country, where it's like his whole thing is like, I'm not doing it for one country. I'm just trying to do what's right. But what's right for us might not be right for a different place. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
I mean, I would probably go like the parent route. It's like you see your kids having an argument, you don't say anything because they need to learn how to figure it out on their own. But the second those kids start slapping each other, that's when you need to jump in. You know what I mean? Like you get involved to the extent that you need to. Parents get it wrong all the time. I get it wrong, Steve gets it wrong. But I do think like have I do think there is a benefit to that type of support. And I do think like that I would go to like that level and then I would stop. And people would hate me for it. People would say I need to do more. People would need to say I need to do less. You're not going to win over everybody. But I do think like on my conscience, I would need to at least stop things from getting to like a world war level.
Earth has 200 and so kids and can't keep them all in check. 200 countries.
Oh, I was like, what? Yeah, yeah.
200 or so.
I was like, I'm pretty sure there's more than 200 kids in the world.
No, no. Like not actual kids. I mean, so it sounds like would you take the compound or no?
I would, yeah.
You would? Okay, so I would too. Um, if we explode, hopefully we explode in colorful confetti.
Make a movie about me, yeah.
Speaking of paper, let's move on to the next paper. We got versus okay. 80s neon wardrobe for all of life versus 90s grunge wardrobe for all of life.
That is I was about to say that's so easy, and I'm trying to see if I'm wrong. No, that's easy. I think
I kind of wait, can we guess each other's?
I do think we're gonna have opposite ones.
Alright. So I'm gonna count it down like the show, and at the end of it, you say what you think mine is, and I'll say what I think yours
I say
is.
yours? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. 80s.
90s.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly, and mine is 80s. Yeah, I just think, like, 80s is fun. I just think it's, like, it's colorful and it's expressive and just, like, you got big hair and you just got, like it's very loud and kinda silly, like, that is I mean, I don't dress like that in my own life, but it is a vibe that I wish I had more confidence to wear. I
I
think
think you should
90s
totally
is
buy it. You should totally upgrade your wardrobe to
just
be like,
go
"You
80s.
need that." Yeah, 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 why
I
not?
mean, I like how the Starcade is starting to bleed into me now, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean,
Um,
imagine you going on the show and you have, like, retro, like,
I got,
l
like, the '80s mullet, and I've
the
got, like I'm
neon
not
colors
saying
on.
no. It's a
What
possibility.
what were those pants? Like, were the balloon pants or something? Or,
Oh,
like
parachute pants.
yeah.
I don't know about parachute pants. Well, that's the other thing too. The '80s had so many different kinds of style. There was like hip hop '80s, and then there was like rocker, punk metal
Like, with the
'80s.
top with the tights and stuff, with the
Yeah,
patterned tights.
right. The jazzercise '80s. Like there was so many different ones. I think with like the '90s grunge, it's not a bad style, but I do remember it being very like monotone. Everything was very
Hey.
brown.
Hey, hey, hey. Not too much on my style, okay?
Well, go ahead. Why would you go '90s?
No, I mean, look, 90s grunge is just totally my vibe. I grew up I guess the closest thing to it that my style was influenced by grunge is that I was, like, very much emo. I was, like, an emo preppy kid in high school,
So was
and
I.
so so, like, I wore a lot of, like, cardigans, but, like, all of it was, like, black and grays and, like, very I got to a point in my life where I looked at my entire closet and I was like, I think I got gifted a pair of like red sneakers or something. And I'm like, I have not that black doesn't go with red, but I was like, I don't have really anything other than black to go with this. I'm staring at my wardrobe and it's literally black and gray.
Yeah.
That's it. And blues because I had to wear blue for uniform for a long time. And it was out of all the blues, it was navy blue, which is
Where
like in
which
the
is just
same
black.
it's like black's cousin or something, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, even right now, I'm wearing gray, black, black, like, it's a constant in my life. And so grunge, I would say, fits my style a lot closer than 80s colorful, like, retro, like, vibe, you know? I will say I like, the blues, purples of that 80s time period. Those that, like, that shade of those colors that were popular in that time, but yeah, grunge, I like the baggy and, like, with the boots, like, I love me a good boot. I would have, like if I could, I would have platforms. I should totally upgrade my wardrobe now too.
We're gonna come back and you're gonna look like a Hot Topic model, and I'm gonna be like a character from Stranger Things.
I'm thinking, what's that one dude from, like, Powerpuff Girls? Like him almost, but, like, with platforms on.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I would totally do that. I'm thinking, like, that 90s vampire scene before everything got Twilight-fied, like the
Yeah.
old, like, with the cut open jacket that showed, like, their abs and, like, the jeans. Yeah, yeah, I'd
Well,
totally be into
80s
that.
also had men wearing the, like, crop top shirts with their, like, bellies sticking out. Like,
Yeah.
you that was another thing with the '80s, like, you could dress, like, a little bit like a slut if you were a guy or a girl, or you could put on a lot of clothes. Like, I think there was more
I think that's a
options.
strong word because, like, why would I why can't it just be style? Why we have to dignify people to that, like, a
I'm
slut,
I'm just saying that was, well, actually, it's very funny. At the time, I don't think that was seen as, like, being skimpy. But I think looking back now, it's like if somebody were to wear that today, be like, okay, like, what are you trying to show here?" And I do think, yeah, I think there's just a lot more expression back in the '80s, and I love, like, the neonness and I love, like, like, the techno-y music, but, like, the lower tone techno music of the '80s. The music was fun. Yeah, I, like, didn't even live in the '80s, and it just feels more fun to me. And granted, I'm sure it was very different at the time. Like, I think a lot of people forget how brown everything was in the 90s. Like, you go to a McDonald's and just the seat is brown, the walls are brown, like, everything was brown, and we don't talk about that enough. But,
Except for Taco Bell.
except for Taco Bell, yeah. That's
Taco Bell
true,
used
there's,
to be
like, a
very
handful of
bright.
places. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I love the '80s style.
I
It's arcade.
90s for me all day, every day. Also I was born later than you too, so I think that
Okay, bringing that up, totally
I think
fine.
I think that buys into that a little bit.
Not much
Vice
later, I'll say that.
okay, well, ah, ah.
And here's where the friendship ends.
On that note, let's move on. I look like Neo right here, like with the hat. The old
Yeah,
that one video that Neo did.
it's a great hat.
What song was that?
I'm Both music.
So sick of love songs. No, that's Mario, I think. Anyways, moving on. We're gonna pull from the main quest bucket. Bing bing.
Love it.
I like doing that. Just like whipping out the paper. All right, so ooh, I like this one. Speaking of aliens in Marvel and portals and what else did we say? Giant robots. Would you rather be abducted by aliens and given enhancements versus being possessed by a ghost and given powers, like supernatural powers?
That's interesting.
I think this one's gonna be for the books. If you don't know do you know where that's from?
What,
This
for the
ticket?
book?
Well, I'll be putting out a book sometime in the future. Let's talk about that another day, though. No, do you know where the inspiration for this ticket is from?
No.
Oh, okay. So there's an anime slash manga. I think it was a manga first. Most of them were. Uh, Dandadan, Dandadan,
Oh, I've heard of it, yeah.
which by the way has your name in it, so you should totally watch it for that reason alone.
I'll think about it, but go on.
Dandadan. Dandadan is a show about. I'll give you a quick little elevator pitch slash premise of it so that you can decide if you want to watch it or not. But it's a high school, I think, students. There is a female and a male, and so the girl, I believe like her grandma is a priestess or something, and she totally believes in like the supernatural, the ghosts like are real or whatever because that's where her grandma practices. And there's a kid, who believes that aliens are real. He's like a sci-fi nerd, wears the glasses, totally like a nerd vibe. And they don't like each other, at least at first. And they butt heads because she doesn't think that aliens are real. She's like, how can aliens be real? That's stupid. They're fake. There's no such thing as aliens. There's no evidence of there being other life, so obviously they're not real. That's crazy talk, right? And he's like, "Wow, how can you be so narrow-minded when you believe in ghosts, but you can't believe that there's maybe aliens out there, right?" Totally legit. And so he believes in aliens, she believes in ghosts, and so she dares him to go to a haunted place, like a haunted sewer, whatever area. And he was like, "All right, I'll do it if you go to like if and he dares her to go to like a plain open field that's been reported to have like alien abductions."
Okay.
And so then they both go to their corresponding places. She gets abducted by aliens and gets abilities, and then he gets possessed by a ghost called Turbo Granny. Don't ask. And so he like gets this ability to kind of like transform himself into like this like supernatural being that has like superpowers, but
Okay.
he can't control it. And then her enhancements that she got from aliens, she has like these. I don't know if I got far enough into the show yet. I have to catch up. But she get like the ability. It might be like telekinetic, telepathic type powers that are able to like help him control his transformations
Okay.
that she received from the abduction of aliens. So then the way the show goes forward is Turbo Granny steals the kid's nuts. Yeah, like his balls. And so they have to like go looking for them. And that's like the adventure aspect of the show. It's a wild show. It's really crazy. The premise sounds like anime in a nutshell. If you've watched many animes in your life, you would know this is like pretty tame for an anime.
Was it a tanuki that possessed him? Because I know that's a whole thing in Japanese cultures. Tanuki have like magic stored in their balls.
It might be related to that, and I just haven't gotten to that part of the show yet, but
So
maybe.
I'll just say, doesn't seem like my kind of a show. Just throwing that out there. But my gut says,
They, by the way, don't show the nuts. Like, it's not.
well, yeah, I figured they wouldn't.
Yeah.
My gut goes to the aliens, just because I think I'm more curious as to whether or not there's life out there, and to kind of get that answer. I also like the idea of being able to like, yeah, I don't know. To me, it just seems more fun. Like, I think ghosts, even if they're helping you, it's a little scary, and like you don't know if they're gonna turn on you, and as opposed to the alien side of things where, this is like my gut would say it's a all powerful, all knowing civilization that has more important things to do than to mess around with me.
Okay.
That's where my gut goes, but what do you think?
I would get possessed by ghosts. And
Okay.
that is because I grew up watching Danny Phantom. And I just think it would be cool. Like, if we're talking about getting abilities like from Compound V or whatever, if I got possessed by a ghost, that might be the one thing that inspires me to maybe be a hero because I'll be thinking of like Danny Phantom and be like, oh, going ghost and having like my own catchphrase and theme. It'd be
So
cool.
hold on. So you wouldn't be a hero if you got the powers of God, but if you got to be like Danny Phantom, you'd be a superhero?
Yeah, 1000%.
Okay, okay. I'm
Like,
learning a lot more about you.
I'm a complicated individual. And so I've always had an affinity to the supernatural, like ghost spectral world. I've always felt like maybe their real spirits might be true or might be real. Like, it's got to be based on something that some kind of real experience that people have had. And I've had experiences that I think are also supernatural. And so that kind of cements my belief in that it's real. Maybe it's like a metaphysical world that's just adjacent to ours, coexisting, and we just are not spiritually attuned to it. And so if I just got the powers, I could be the thing that blends the worlds together. I could be like Korra, bringing the spirit world and the regular world together. I could be like Danny Phantom doing the same thing. I could be like Neo bringing the digital world and physical world together. There's just like a lot of connections there to what I would think I like how I would be with ghost powers. The difference between ghost powers and a god is that I think the ghost powers would give me a sense of responsibility for another world that's not ours that I've never got to experience. And maybe I'm just a jaded person and I don't really feel like this world needs saving. I don't need a Superman in this world. We're gonna we're gonna exist and then we won't exist. And that's kind of like where we're at in this world right now. And in the spiritual world, I don't know if life's infinite. I don't know if it's eternal. I don't know if you're an immortal once you're a spirit. Who knows? And so maybe that world deserves saving because it'll go on forever. But this one, in a billion, 2 billion years, this planet might not even be might not even be here anymore.
I
I
guess
don't know.
so, but I don't care about 2 billion years in the future. I care about,
Well,
and I would rather spend my time working to try to make this world a better one.
if you're an immortal, would you?
Yeah,
So if you were a god, you would be immortal, essentially.
yeah.
So you'd be here to the end of the earth.
If we're going back to the God side of things, yeah, okay. In that sense, I mean, yeah, but but I don't. But I guess my goal is taking care of the people in my life now, as opposed to like the end of humanity. Like, I think I would kind of work in the present personally, but I mean, I think also with I understand like the idea of you know, the idea of like having a connection to a ghost world. But I also like the idea of having connection to another planet and another civilization, like a whole separate universe. And also, if they've managed to come to Earth, what other planets have they inhabited and seen? Like, there's so much out there within our current universe.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a tough decision because just like you, I would also be interested in seeing what other worlds are out there. But hopefully our scientists today will get us there, just probably not in our lifetime, unfortunately.
Probably
That's
not.
that's the unfortunate part. I feel it's a shame because I feel blessed to be in the existence that we are today because we've seen technology through a lot of stages and we're part of the rapid growth. But if it's going to continuously and rapidly grow, it's a shame that we won't get to see even like 50 to 100 years past that because I think that'll be a crazy new world. I think we mentioned it before. It'll be one of those weird things where we're like 150 years from now, they're like, "Can you believe they used to order their food through an app and had to wait for it
Yeah,
to show up?"
true. But
Crazy.
by the time we die, though, I do feel like the world will be vastly different. Like I think about that too. Like, where can we possibly go from here? But then I'll think about like my mom was born in 19 sorry to age your mom. My mom was born in 1969. Think about what the
That's a
world was like.
great year, by the way.
Great
Well,
year.
it's a traumatic year, but also a lot of wild shit happened that year. Let's
Yeah, it
just
was
say that.
definitely like a pivotal year. And like think about like where technology was at, where the world was at, and think of how much happened through the 70s and the 80s. The internet, like countries rose, countries fell. Like it's going to be a completely different world when we're old and like we can't even imagine what's going to happen yet.
150 years from now, they'll be like, "Can you believe that the United Kingdom used to be split? Like Ireland and and like London and stuff used to be totally different, and now, but like in 150 years, that whole island will just be like one thing."
Like it's crazy. We have no idea what could possibly happen.
A hu 150 years from now, another example, they'll be like, "Can you believe the United States used to be 50 different states, and now the United States is one state,
Yeah,
including Canada and Mexico?
we're now the United States.
We're just the United State.
Yeah.
We're the United State of America." Like, wait, yeah, something like that. Go back to our original name, North America, and that's it. Like, that'll be
Yeah,
one whole country.
absolutely.
Instead of a continent, it's one country. Speaking of countries, this has nothing to do with it. So let's move on to the next main ticket. Uh, would you go to heaven and find out your soulmate is your worst enemy in real life? So, like,
Okay.
that your worst enemy was meant to be your soulmate. And whatever circumstances made them your worst enemy, we could talk about it. But versus erase the memory of your worst heartbreak, but you also lose that lesson that you learned. These are getting philosophical.
I
I don't know
know.
who
This is
came up
this
with
is like a
these.
deep episode. These are also very specific, all of them. It's not like red or blue, you know?
Even our
Um,
side quest buckets were like very, yeah, not red or
yeah.
blue.
I my gut says I'd go for the first one. I would go to like finding out my soulmate was my worst enemy just because like that means I still lived a life and even if I'm more of like the what's meant to happen happens. I don't think there's any kind of like destiny or anything like that. So for me, it's like the life I lived is the life I lived, as opposed to like I wouldn't want to forget any part of my life. So yeah, I think that's where my
Even if it's a traumatic heartbreak.
I really like yeah, I'm not really haunted by like I mean, don't get me wrong. I think years ago there were like moments from my past that I would love to erase, like, truly deep stuff. But I think I've gotten to the point now where I can look back at those moments and they don't affect me the same way they used to. I don't know. I guess it would depend on, like I feel like whoever answers this, it depends on, like, what state of life they're in, if they're still holding on to that kinda, like, deep trauma or not. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's this might be one of the toughest ones yet, to be quite honest.
Before answering this ticket, make sure you go to therapy
Yes, please.
because this might
Big
not be
advocate
the
here.
ticket for you then. No, and I might still need to go to therapy. I think everyone benefits from therapy even when you don't think you need it. Um, m Gut feeling, I kinda this might be the one ticket I do agree with you on because I don't think we've except for the compound V one, I don't think today we've agreed on any single one.
No.
But I would find out that my you know where it reminds me of? It reminds me of The Good Place when their soulmates weren't exactly who they envisioned their soulmates being.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the show, you're like, since all of this was a facade anyways, was it ever your soulmate? Like that, it kind of philosophically puts you in a think space of like you said, there is no destiny. Maybe what was thought to be destiny or meant to be was only by happenstance, and there is no, like, big devious plan for it all. It just all happens because it was kinda meant to happen,
Right.
or it just fell into place that way. And so, I don't know, if my soulmate was my worst enemy, I'm one of those people that's very forgiving, I would say, not to toot my own horn, I guess, like you mentioned earlier. Um, but I would say I'm a forgiving person, and if I found out they were my worst enemy, I would try to look past our past. That's interesting to say.
I like that.
Look, I would try to look past it and then try to figure out where how we could build from there. I'd be like, let's level set this. Maybe there's some maybe our wires got crossed somewhere not the right way the first time. Cause you know, you meet someone and you're like, but then, like, later down in life, you're like, "May we could have probably been good friends or good people together." It's just, like, the way the circumstance of us crossing paths the first time was not ideal,
Yeah.
and then it all got ruined from that first impression, which is why I always say first impressions are important, but the follow-up is even more important because how you present yourself after the first impression is speaks to your character. And so, I don't know, erasing the memory of my worst heartbreak, which I've had my share few, I wouldn't even in the middle of the heartbreak, I don't think I would erase that.
Yeah.
There's not that lesson for me is valuable today, but it was also valuable for me. I think I recognized in the moment I had the wherewithal to in the moment be like, I'm hurting, this all hurts. This all sucks, but like I kind of need this. I need to go through this to grow. And that might be just from, like, seeing heartbreaks around me growing up and seeing the growth of a person through their lens, and so, yeah, I think I got that kinda I'm lucky that I got that experience growing up, and I think that kinda shaped my perspective on life, I guess.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think that's a great way to look at it because, like, yeah, we are shaped by the good and the bad that comes before us, and I think if you don't have any struggles, how do you grow as a person, and what'll it be like when you do get that struggle? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm able to face adversity a lot easier because I've faced it in the past, and I know how to, like, handle myself when that happens, and I know how to, like, take a step back and be like, "Okay, this might suck now, but this is not the worst day of my life, and I'll get through this and whatnot." Um,
Oh, hun, I mean, during it, I will definitely say the words, "This is the worst day of my life."
yeah, I mean, I've said that too, for sure, but, you also but now when it's stuff like that happens, I know it's not, you know? I mean, I hate to keep bringing up the parenting stuff, but, like, the days when Andy's just inconsolable, just the like, when parenting is the absolute hardest it can be. I think, like, early on, I would think to myself, like, "Did we make a mistake? Should we not be parents?" And now I can after, Andy's almost 4 now, I can be in those moments and be like, today absolutely sucks, and I'm gonna need to go to sleep as soon as he goes to sleep, and I
You're gonna need therapy after
I'm
this.
gonna need therapy after this, but I'm still happy I'm here, and I'm still happy this is happening, and but, like, that wouldn't happen without having to face it in the past, you know?
There's, like, a maturity to parenting, which is crazy because people will have kids at such a young age that it like my mom, for example. Sorry, mom, to put your business out there, but, you had me as a teenager, and it's baffling, but also impressive for them to be able to have kids at such a young age without, like I'm not saying my mom wasn't mature or anything, but just the difference between a teen and, like, our age now, like, I think back to, like, what I was like as a teenager all the time. And I'm like, there's no way that Sven 15 years ago had the mental capacity to be a dad. Like, I couldn't. I mean, you would ask people probably who knew me back then, like, oh, that's crazy. Even though I wouldn't agree with you being a dad right now, I could totally see you being a dad. And I'm sure that's true for their perspective of me then. But me knowing me and my brain, I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things too where it's like no one's ready for it. There's
Yeah,
nothing to
that too.
prepare you. You can read all the books, you can have everybody give you advice and stuff. Every kid is different, every parent is different. It's there's so many mistakes you're going to make. And it's just important to remember that nothing is the end of the world. Yeah, I watched Andy today because he had the day off from school, and I had to work while watching him. It was absolutely he was just like, literally nothing would please this kid. He just was inconsolable.
No ice cream, no chocolate, no.
Oh, he doesn't like chocolate, which is
Uh,
a well, I know that's weird. But, I remember, like, I ordered McDonald's because I was like, "You know what? He likes chicken nuggets. Let's eat some chicken nuggets." And I've been telling myself that we need to stop ordering fast food as much, but at the same time, I was like, "You know what? This is not gonna kill him. This is not gonna be I this is he's still gonna have a successful life and get married if he has McDonald's right now. Like, it's gonna be fine." And that's
We
just,
had
like
McDonald's in the '90s and we didn't we're still alive today.
that's true, yeah. I mean, like,
Debatable if we're successful or not, but
it's tough because the world has so many opinions on how you should be as a parent, how much screen time, if any, you should show kids, and even people who you think are well-meaning will come across with some pretty strong criticisms of parenting. Um,
that's why I never even I'm like the way I approach you guys as parents, I'm like, there's no way I could even be a parent right now, so I can't come across with any judgments or biases because I don't know what it's like. So for me, all I can offer is encouragement and not just encouragement, but like also um what do you call it? I like to what's the word? I want to say glazing. That seems like such a online word, but I like to give you guys the flowers that you guys deserve just for tackling on being a parent. Glazing being like too many compliments.
okay, you're not that much younger than me. Don't come in here pretending like you're Gen Z or something.
Well, you
Uh,
gave me the eyes of like, what the fuck is glazing?
well, I thought you meant, like, glazing over, and I was
Oh,
like,
oh, oh, no, no, no,
"What?"
like actual glazing. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, no, yeah, I get it now. No, I think, yeah, I appreciate that, and it's yeah, it is great when you kinda get those moments, um, and you know what? As a parent, you learn to hold on to those moments when something that can fuel you in the future. Like today, Andy was inconsolable when he's just inconsolable. We have to because he has ADHD, and so it can life can be tough for him, and it kind of carries over on us. So I took him to the other room where we just kind of go to just kind of get our anger out. We calm down, and we sat down, and he said, uh God, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it, and I've forgotten it. But he said something
That's why you wrote it down.
unprompted. He said something along the lines of, like, "Dad, I love you so much," which he doesn't just kinda come out and say. And absolute shot to the heart. And I thought to myself, like,
Cupid arrow, by the way, not like a
yeah, like
shot
a
to the heart.
Cupid
Yeah, yeah,
arrow, yeah. And I was just like, "I'm gonna hold on to this moment for the next time he is, trying to jump down the stairs or something, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's just sorta yeah. Sorry to
So
bring, like, so much parenting stuff into this, but I think
no, you're
that's
good.
where my mind goes.
You have to bring in your own life experiences onto these tickets, and that's kind of the point of the show. And
It
so
is.
even like the worst heartbreak, I don't think it has to be romantic for a heartbreak. Sometimes other relationships in your life cause you heartbreak, you know? It could be a family member, it could be a friendship you lost. It could be your kid, which I don't want to put this in the zeitgeist already, but I can almost guarantee you that your child at one point or another is going to say I hate you for like
Yeah,
because
100%.
they're in their teenage years. That's just how teenagers are. I remember I said it at one point.
Me too.
Do
Probably
I
before
mean it?
that, yeah.
No, absolutely not. I love my parents. I love my mom. But I yeah, so like that could be heartbreaking. But like you said, you hold on to the moments that are special,
Yeah,
and those will those will carry you through the hard times, and those are the lessons that you learn, which is why I wouldn't want to forget them.
yeah, 100%.
I would definitely try to reconcile with my antagonist, my worst enemy up in heaven, if there is such a thing as heaven, and I would try to figure out how to like move past that and then try to be like, "Oh, well, we were destined to be soulmates. Let's try to figure out why that is, you know?"
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I
I
think
like that.
that's I I feel like you said we started this episode and you said we are on such a high, let's end it now. And we ending it on such a low that's what I mean. This show is all about roller coasters. And I don't want to say it's like a low low. It's just like it was a very serious
Yeah, it's a
talking point, a
heavier
heavier
topic,
topic.
yeah.
But that's exactly what the show's about.
No, it's great. You know,
Speaking
what's fun is, like, we don't know what's gonna come in when we get here. There's days we're arguing Bowser versus Ganondorf, and then there's days we're talking about this, and I love that, like, unexpectedness as to, like, what we're gonna face today.
I kind of say it all the time. The show is pure chaos, and that's what I've always wanted it to be. You want to go into it just not knowing what is in store, just like life. This podcast is life equals reality. I don't know. I try to do math there. It doesn't work. I'm an English major. I can't do math to save my life. But speaking on ranges of topics, I am excited for our listeners to know that we have some exciting guests lined up coming up on the show. We have some cool segments that Dan and I are always trying to um, come up with and implement into the show. We have Your Five versus Mine coming up soon that we got planned for you guys, which will be super fun. I still don't. We know. I don't want to say what the category is because we don't know the details yet, but I will say we have the category down and we have everything. We just don't know each other's picks, which we won't share that with each other. It'll all be revealed on that episode. And so stay tuned because we have a lot of fun surprises for you guys. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. I think, yeah, I you know, it's so funny. It's like I love the normal episodes because it is just like very easy, chill, for fun. But I also just get like really excited for these special episodes and these one-offs to kind of see like how's this gonna go, you know?
Yeah, listen, chaos. Chaos control for you Sonic fans out there. I know you know. I know you know who says that.
I know who says that.
Do you?
Isn't that Shadow?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Good
See,
job.
I may not play a lot of Sonic, but I know things.
You keep your nerd card for today.
Perfect. I'll take it.
If you guys love this show and want to hear more, follow us on Spotify or wherever you hear or listen to your podcast. We are on all the platforms at You Versus Who. If you don't follow us on socials, we do share a lot of funny clips, a lot of funny moments, and maybe some announcements on there every once in a while. I should probably start doing that sometimes. You can follow us on IG and Threads at You Versus Who Pod. You can find us on TikTok at You Versus Who One. You can find us on YouTube at the You Versus Who podcast. Uh, Yeah, if I've had some people reach out to me through the socials and ask, "Hey, what's the best way to engage with the show?" I will say that a lot of people listen through podcast platforms, but people want to engage beyond that. Um, IG seems to be the popular place, but it's only for clips. If you're wanting to leave your thoughts and feedback on the whole show, I would say YouTube is definitely the platform to do it. It's very easy to do it from there. The episodes get uploaded automatically along with all the other platforms on YouTube. So like and subscribe to us there. A lot of word vomit. And there you can share your comments. Post it in the comment section. We do go through them. We'll reply to them. I will say this. You know what? If you subscribe to the channel on YouTube and you leave a comment, I will give you a shout out on the next episode.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And we'll read whatever comment you want us to read. So if you're listening, if you made it this far into the show, go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Follow us on socials. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Dan, you got anything?
Totally gonna make a new account, and I'm just gonna comment that says like poop butt fart, and you have to read that on air, and I'm gonna laugh to myself.
An alternate account just to troll me. I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm
It
here
says
for the
Evil
chaos.
Dan. That's the name of the account.
It's what, Dan?
It's Evil Dan. Oh, What Dan is good too. Like Wario, like my Wario.
Oh, yeah.
What Dan?
What, Dan? Well, damn.
I like
That's
it.
the end of the show. Peace out, everybody.
Later.